Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Tuesday, April 25th, and I am your host, Peter Apple, and I'm here to deliver you some winners. Myself, I got 4 MLB best bets and a prize picks entry. We're going to go over our model to kind of give you a read on each individual game, some games that I'm not even on, but I kind of want to tell you why I'm off it, some trap lines. Dodgers-Pirates is a huge game today. What does the model say about it? We're going to go through it. Again, prize picks. And then we have 7 MLB cappers who are going to come on and give their picks. But remember, for anyone new listening, this is a competition, right? Myself versus the 15 best MLB cappers I could find. And whoever has the most units at the end of the season will win World Series tickets. In second place gets a $500 cash prize. And if I win, which I'm planning on, I'm in third place right now. Got to up it a little bit, but we're making it through. I got to up it a little bit. One of the subscribers of this Twitch channel will get those World Series tickets. Let's say I finish second. Subscriber of this Twitch channel will get the $500 cash prize. And we just got a sub. Absolute no-brainer. Shout out B-Man5422. I see B-Man in all the TikTok lives. Shout out B-Man. We got another one? Oh, T4D's nuts. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you subscribing. Remember, all subscribers of this Twitch channel will be entered in to win if I end up winning, and I'm in third place right now. Some housekeeping things. Remember, BetMGM, the code is still live. I use BetMGM lines this entire season, so everyone's like, oh, what would you play if the line moved? I play all of my lines on BetMGM. If you want to join me, which I think you should, if you want to get free money, which I think you should, use code JBFANS. It's JBFANS. Wager $10 on any money line, not a live bet, not a total, a money line bet in the MLB. It's MLB specific. You will get $100 in bonus bets. In some states, it's a $200 in bonus bets. Absolute no-brainer on BetMGM. All right, 4 MLB best bets, 1 prize picks entry. We're going to go over the model, and then we're going to welcome on 7 cappers. We do this every Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern to 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Producer Cohen, let's do a quick recap of yesterday because it was fucking terrible. And I don't mean to curse, but I do because it was terrible, right? Transparency is key. I got 1.55 units to lose every bet and only lose that much. It's not that big of a deal, right? We've been very profitable this season. Even after a losing stay, we're still up 5.92 units on the stream alone. On my regular picks, which you find, over the weekend and just in general, I'm up over 6 units on the season. But Texas versus Cincinnati, I think that lost in the 3rd inning. I mean, that was just garbage. Nick Lodolo, he did not have his best stuff. Nady Eovaldi, couple errors. It just wasn't a good play. I mean, it was almost too good to be true, right? If you remember my pitch from yesterday, I loved that play. And I feel like I'd play it again if you gave me a redo. It didn't hit, though. And the Astros look good early. They're up 2-0. Tie game 2-2. Jeremy Pena hits a home run 3-2. No, the Rays are now 14-0 at home, outscoring opponents 98-33 at Tropicana Field. Astros have value on them again today. You will not find me on the Astros. The Rays are they're unfadable at this point. I'm learning it the hard way. I probably will fade them again because I'm sick in the head. We'll see. All right. But again, Astros was a half unit play. Jordan got announced out of the lineup. Tough day, but we move. Long season, and we got some plays today for you. Let's get into the first one. The first one is this Cubs-Padres under. And now you're looking at this line, and you're like, Peter, what? The line is at 7 or 7.5. Why are you giving us this play? I know. I hate doing this. Because, of course, I make a lot of my plays at 10, 11 at night. If you listened to yesterday's stream, DeGen is like, I like to wait for the market to evolve. Sharp movement, I follow it. Me, I trust my numbers. They've been profitable year over year. And I like to make bets the night before those lines start to move. And I got this morning, and I sent it out to my subscribers. Now, you can sign up. The link is in my Twitter bio. if you want to. Again, you don't have to. I want to give out plays for free, and I still will give out plays for free. But you're probably wondering, well, is it playable at 7.5 or 7? It is definitely playable at 7.5. I predict this game at 7 runs, right? And I still think it'll go under 7 runs. But it's about just lowering your unit size. It's not worth the 1.2 unit play that I put on the 8.5. And the reason I like it is not just because it's freezing in Chicago. It's not just because there's wind blowing 15 mile an hour in. We see it at Wrigley all the time. Totals move up and down due to the wind because it's very susceptible based on the park. And that's another reason why I like it. But really, I like the play because both bullpens are rested in this matchup. Justin Steele has been keeping the ball off the barrel all season, has truly been one of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball. And I do think Blake Snell is in for a very solid outing today. I do. His numbers are really high. They're higher than usual. It's for a reason. He should pitch really well today. So I like the under, and that's why I don't just play Wrigley overs or play Wrigley unders just because of the wind of the ballpark. I play it when the matchup makes sense. And I wanted to play the under regardless, and then I found out about the weather. I played it at 8.5. It got dove down to 7, 7.5. If you can find 7.5, definitely playable. 7, play it light, right? If you could definitely find plus money, play it light, but I still think it's worthy of a play. Producer Cohen, you got something for me? No? All right, well, let's keep moving. But again, 3 more plays, all right? Let's move on to our second play of the day. What are we bringing up next, Producer Cohen? Ooh, Miami versus Braves. This is a line that really hasn't moved. It's moved like 5, 10 cents, but it's still definitely playable. So the pitching matchup is, Raid? Who are we getting raided by? Book It Sports. Welcome to it. Just went over a play where the line moved a bunch, and now we're talking baseball. I got 3 MLB best bets for you on top of the play I already gave out. We got a prize picks entry. We're going to go over the model. And then we're going to welcome on 7 of our favorite MLB cappers in order to give you winners. 1 rule, you got to love baseball. 2nd rule, don't call my producer an L because he's not an L and he's a winner. All right, winners now. Atlanta Braves versus the Miami Marlins at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Brian Hoeing versus Charlie Morton. And I promise you, this would be my favorite play of the season if Brian Hoeing was the same pitcher that he was last season. Of course, Brian Hoeing has made improvements in the minor leagues. His sinker velocity is up about 2 to 3 miles an hour. And in the minor leagues so far, 2.08 ERA in 17 innings. I think he is going to be okay long term. Today against the Braves, when he's so sinker dominant, that is not a recipe for success. And you're thinking, well, he's a righty. Like, the Braves have a lot of righties. What do you think about those Braves bats? Brian Hoeing is a reverse splits guy. And what reverse splits mean is that a right-handed pitcher is actually worse against righties. Normally, it's the opposite, right? Not this guy. He's actually worse against right-handed bats. And that's what we're looking at today. Because the Braves lineup is filled with them. But we're also looking, right, at Brian Hoeing, who does have a 12.08 ERA in the majors last season, which included 2 1/3 against these Atlanta Braves, where he gave up 3 earned runs. Now, Hoeing does look better in the minors. Let's see him do it against the Braves at Truist Park. But it's also not just because of him. I think the Marlins are going to put up runs today because I think Charlie Morton is a ticking time bomb. His curveball is still the main pitch, but it's kind of the only thing keeping him afloat here. His four-seamer, his sinker, and his changeup have allowed a ton of hard contact, and he's not getting whiffs on those pitches. And whiffs are swings and misses. You want batters to swing and miss, and he ain't doing that. He's allowed 26 hits, 10 walks in 22 innings, and again, walking a tightrope with his 3.22 ERA, considering his 6.10 xERA screams that negative regression is coming. Also, Braves basically no-hit the Marlins yesterday. We saw Gene Segura do the bat flip because he actually got a hit off Strider. No Luis Arias in that lineup. Today, we will see the best hitter in the Marlins lineup in there today. I would play this at 5. Again, got it at 4.5. I think there will be plenty of runs scored early. We've seen the overall total go from 8.5, now juiced to the over at 9. I think those runs are going to be scored early, and you're wondering, well, why not the full game over? I still like this Braves bullpen a lot, and this Marlins bullpen lately has been very impressive. I think when there will be runs, it will be early. Give me the Braves versus the Marlins over 4.5 through 5 innings. One of my favorite plays of the day. I got it at minus 120, laying a little bit of juice, not worried one bit. Braves, Marlins, first 5, over 4.5. And remember, if you, for some reason, you're coming in and out of all of these games and you're like, what were the picks? What were the picks? On Pickett Sports, my bets are all tracked. All of them. Follow me at PeterApple23, spelled APPEL, not like the fruit. Not like the fruit. Even though my head can sometimes get red when I'm screaming, kind of looks like an apple. Don't make fun of me. I was made fun of in the first grade for it. Almost cried. I've moved past it, sort of. Still kind of offends me, but let's move on. All right, next game on the slate. What are we looking at? Tigers, Brewers. I pitched this on the Book It sports stream. Shout out Trent. He's the GOAT. This is the reason why I love this over. I'm going to go in a little bit more detail here. So it's Spencer Turnbull versus Eric Lauer. Now, Spencer Turnbull is an interesting pitcher. If we remember, he threw a no-hitter, I think, a couple of years ago. And Eric Lauer is a guy who's always outperformed his peripherals. Peripherals like xERA, FIP, xFIP, all those nerd stats. But this matchup for these two offenses fits like a glove. If I were the Tigers pitching coach, which I am not, I'm giving you bets on a Twitch stream, I would tell Spencer Turnbull to throw his changeup more. His changeup's a really good pitch, but he only throws it 13.8% of the time. Like, he has good pitches, but he's not throwing them. But what he is throwing, four-seam fastball, sinker, slider. If you've been on this stream, you know that the Brewers crush those 3 pitches. Those are their 3 favorite pitches to hit, and righties. So the Brewers love those 3 pitches and love right-handed pitchers. If we look at similar pitchers to Spencer Turnbull, who are better than Spencer Turnbull, but have sinker, slider, fastball combinations. Nothing's perfect, but we can look at similar pitchers in this range. Garrett Whitlock of the Boston Red Sox. How'd he do? 5 earned runs, got crushed. Logan Gilbert, much better pitcher than Spencer Turnbull. 4 earned runs. Carlos Carrasco, he hasn't been very good, but he still is a better pitcher than Spencer Turnbull. Also got crushed. All at least gave up 4 earned runs, and Turnbull is the worst version of those 3 pitchers. His 7.86 ERA is pretty apparent, right? You go to ESPN and you look at the matchup, and yeah, 7.86 ain't good. 6.46 xERA ain't good either, and he's struggled on the road throughout his career. And then following him will be a below-average bullpen in the Tigers, and they're without their best reliever in Alex Lang, who's thrown in back-to-back days. It's more than likely that he will not be pitching today. But it's not just, well, then why not take the Brewers, right? Brewers should crush them. Not so fast. Tigers have a good matchup today, too. They're going to face Eric Lauer, and I would even venture to say that Eric Lauer is a worse pitcher than Spencer Turnbull is. 83 Stuff Plus. We talk about Stuff Plus all the time. You're probably like, Peter, you're such a nerd. And I am a nerd, and that's why I'm here to deliver you winners. Stuff Plus is one of the best ERA predictors that we have in Major League Baseball. It grades your stuff on a scale of 100. So everything below that is below league average. Everything above that is above league average. And you can find this on Fangraphs. Everyone's like, where do you find Stuff Plus? Go to pitch modeling on Fangraphs, and you can see every pitcher's Stuff Plus. Eric Lauer and his 83 Stuff Plus sucks, right? And I think, and the numbers would back this up too, he is the worst starting pitcher currently on the Brewers. Now, the Tigers' bats have been awful against lefties. Awful. Dreadful. But a lot of righties in that lineup. And they actually project to be a league average team against left-handed pitching this year. Eric Lauer seems like the perfect pitcher to start to show what those projections look like. That the Tigers are at least an average team against lefties. Now, they haven't performed to get like it this year, but this feels like something. And it's a little bit contrarian because the Detroit Tigers have scored the least amount of runs in Major League Baseball. So the Brewers must be free, right? Not so fast. I think the Tigers put up a huge fight against the guy in Eric Lauer who has a 45.5% hard hit rate. His fastball, his cutter, and his slider have all fallen off the cliff velocity-wise, and his xERA is currently sitting at 5.45. This is a recipe for a disaster for Eric Lauer. I'm playing this over up to 9 runs. Of course, I got it yesterday at 8.5 at minus 115. 1.15 units to win 1 unit. Definitely playable at 9. I think this total soars. All right, so that's play 3. Let's get to play 4, which is the last play on the day, which is the St. Louis Cardinals versus the San Francisco Giants. And I'm taking the first 5 innings over. It starts at 9:45 p.m. Eastern tonight. It is Jake Woodford versus John Brebbia. And I wrote in my write-up, which you can find on justbaseball.com every single morning and on my podcast, Not Gambling Advice. You can find it everywhere. It's on my TikTok, everywhere. It's simple. It's simple. And I said, just look at these starting pitchers. Jake Woodford, John Brebbia. It might be a little square, but line movement is following our direction. This line has already gone to 5. I'd play it at 5. I think it's going to have like 7 runs through 5 innings. The Giants are having a bullpen game today with a below average bullpen. The Cardinals are coming off a game where they got shut out. If you think they're getting shut out twice, be my guest and fade this, because I just don't believe that's going to happen 2 days in a row. Excuse me. The Cardinals are throwing their worst starting pitcher. 6.05 ERA. Sounds really bad, right? But it gets worse when you look at his peripherals. 8.04 xERA. That is so bad. That is in the 3rd percentile of Major League Baseball. That is like, he should not be a Major League pitcher right now. And it sits on the back of a 60.4% hard hit rate. And you're wondering, 60.4%, maybe you're new to baseball. You don't know what that means. I'm here to explain. That's all I'm here to do, is to give you my best knowledge in baseball for you to then use it for you to make money. A hard hit baseball is qualified on Baseball Savant at 95 miles an hour or above. So that means, in 95, if you hit above 95, it's more likely than not to get a base hit. If you hit the ball hard, you're more than likely to get a base hit, home run, double, all that kind of good stuff. 60.4%. So 60.4% of batted balls against Jake Woodford are over 95 miles an hour. Do you know where that ranks? Last. He's getting ballooned, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw the Giants can't hit a lefty. Well, good thing is they ain't facing a lefty. They're facing Jake Woodford. And the Giants can certainly hit a right-hander, where they put up 4 runs to win it yesterday, right? They got shut out by Jordan Montgomery, who is a lefty. Then they put up 4 against the Cardinals bullpen, both righties. The Giants actually rank 4th in baseball in WRC Plus against right-handed pitching. And again, they're going to go up against one of their easiest matchups to date. On the flip side, we have John Brebbia, who's going to face a Cardinals lineup that, again, was shut out before. Brebbia is allowing a 55.6% hard hit rate this season, putting him in the 3rd percentile of Major League Baseball. So that goes to show. Brebbia is a bullpen guy, not very good. He's in the 3rd percentile at 55.4. Woodford is at 60.4%. But the thing about John Brebbia, which I kind of like, his strikeout rate has ballooned, striking out 37.5% of hitters. But the Cardinals don't strike out, 23rd in baseball in strikeout rate against righties. That's the good kind. You want to be low in those rankings, and the Cardinals don't strike out. They're going to make a lot of contact. It's going to be very hard, and they're playing at a ballpark today at Oracle that is calling for runs. Oracle, notorious pitcher's park, but I got 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out to center field for these 2 starters that I do not believe in. Give me the first 5 over, especially when it's going to be about 60 degrees by game time. Give me the first 5 over 4.5. I put 1 unit on it to win 0.8 because I didn't want to pay minus 125 juice. Probably should have, because now we're looking at over 5 at around minus 110, minus 115, depending on where you get it. Bet MGM right now, it's about minus 115 at over 5. I would take that. And you're wondering, well, would you take 5 or 4.5? I would take 5. I need 5 to win anyway, right? Worst thing that happens, in my opinion, is a push. Love this play. I think both pitchers get bombed today early on. So that'll do it for game picks. Let's break into my prize picks entry of the day. What are we dealing with here, Producer Cohen? Prize Pick Squares. All right, remember, if you have yet to download Prize Picks yet, use code JustBaseball when you download for a full instant deposit match up to $100. The first leg is Spencer Turnbull under 15.5 pitching outs. As stated above, right, at the beginning of the show, this is a match made in heaven for Spencer Turnbull. His pitch mix doesn't match up. He's on the road in a hitter-friendly environment where he has not performed. I would be shocked if he threw over 5 innings today. Because remember, if he throws 5 innings and then gets pulled, bet hits. 15 and a half outs implies that he would have to get 16 outs, which is 5 1/3 inning. I don't think he gets that. I think he is ousted early against this Brewers offense. Second leg is Ronald Acuna Jr. over 8.5. Yeah, it's pretty square. I don't even know if it's going to hit. I mean, I do. I think it's going to hit. That's why I played it. I would never give you something I didn't think it was going to play. But it's just super, super square. But the reason being is because Brian Hoeing is worse against righties. Ronald Acuna Jr. is the best player on planet Earth right now. He only had 2 fantasy points yesterday, so I love him on a bounce back. He's the current MVP frontrunner. He is better against right-handed pitching. He mashes sinkers, which Brian Hoeing is going to throw 70% of the time. He's the leader in stolen bases, so we're taking his fantasy score because once he gets on base, he's surely to run. And Brian Hoeing not only throws that sinker, but struggles against right-handed bats. He's the leadoff man for Atlanta today. I'm expecting tons of runs, and I think he's going to be a big part of it. I'm pairing Spencer Turnbull under 15 and a half pitching outs with Ronald Acuna Jr. over 8.5 fantasy score on Prize Picks. Make sure you use code JustBaseball when you download. Full instant deposit match. Oh, we're looking at Dinger Tuesday? Let me let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat who you guys are thinking about for dingers, and I'll tell you if you're smoking something disgusting or if you're on the right track. So let me know in the chat. Let me know. I love those emotes. I look like such an idiot, but they're perfect. Javi Baez, don't hate it. I think Acuna is good for a home run. I think Olsen's good for a home run. I think Willy Adames is good for a home run. I think Rowdy Tellez is good for a home run. Torque is sneaky. Torque is sneaky. The only problem is Torque never shows up. But like he is sneaky because he can do it at any point. And he's playing in Milwaukee today. Brandon Belt against who's pitching for the freaking White Sox today? We're going to go over that in the model in a second. Who's pitching for the White Sox? Mike Clevenger. Yeah, he blows. So, yeah. I mean, but Brandon Belt's terrible. So, it's terrible against blows. It's terrible against blows. I don't hate it. Yelich, not as much. I'd prefer Adames. I'd prefer Rowdy. Check his odds. Are they super, super low? I know the boys at the BTL stream love those low home run odds, and they're very good at it. So if they pitch you Brandon Belt and you like their pitch, go ahead. I haven't done much research into Brandon Belt's matchup today. Maybe you could hit one. He's been kind of terrible. Maybe the line is speaking to you. How about a Philly versus the Dinger King, Marco Gonzalez? If I'm going to pick a Philly to hit a bomb today, the thing is I wouldn't bet on Philly to hit bombs today because the wind is blowing in. Wind is blowing in, and we got some sideways wind. That's not good for power. What's another dinger I like? Cohen? Let me zone in. I'm zoning in right now. Eyes closed. All right, I just saw it. Cohen. Matt Olson just went yard.
Everyone in the chat right now is fired up on Olson.
Matt Olson just went yard. I saw it. All right, we're going to clip this. I saw it. Right center field, first inning, off Brian Hoeing. Ronald Acuna Jr. already on base, 2-run bomb, first inning. Right center. All right, let's go over the model. All right, this is the Ballpark Pal model. Park Factors, game simulations, and a matchup machine. Remember, the model simulates things 1,000 times. People were talking crap on the model yesterday, and the model did very well yesterday. I got bombed, but but the model did very well yesterday. People are like, oh, you don't like the Diamondbacks versus the Royals over? Everyone was on it. Everyone loved it. Model called the under, went under. Model doing very, very well right now. Let's go over some couple of games. And I want to start. Can we start with the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Los Angeles Dodgers? Because that's the trap line of the day. That's the sharp trap line of the day. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. I want you to absorb it. Because everybody and their mother is wanting to bet on the Pirates today because it's so sharp. Model disagrees. Now, I didn't bet on it. I don't want to be involved in that game at all. It seems like the trappiest game on planet Earth. But what I will say is the model loves the Dodgers. The Pirates are a very trendy team. They've won, 7 in a row. Dodgers, they can't hit anymore, right? Jason Hayward is hitting in the 3-hole. Model likes the Los Angeles Dodgers. All right? Model made me coin yesterday, right? It's math. Baseball is a math game, and this is math. Model likes the Dodgers. People are piling on the Pirates. They think it's so sharp. Oh, they're a small favorite or a small dog at home. Look at me, I'm all sharp. Be careful. Model likes the Dodgers today. All right, let's go to the next one. Reds Rangers. Look at this one. Now, I'm too much of a chicken shit to play this. But the Reds are facing a lefty. I don't love playing a team after a win, especially when it's the Reds and Luke Weaver. He looked good in his last start, but the Rangers are just so hot offensively. The total is really high. They think runs are going to score. And Martin Perez is a pitcher that the model routinely does not like. Remember, the model has its biases, and they see Martin Perez's stuff. They don't like it. So they're going to make the Reds a favorite today. Now, the Reds could win this game easily, right? Reds are much better against lefties, much better at home. These are the types of games that the Reds end up winning. But it's scary because the Rangers are playing really good baseball and coming off a loss. But what I will say is the line's been jumping around, plus 130, plus 120, back and forth, back and forth. The Rangers, sharp? We'll see. Model likes the Reds today. And it also likes the under in that game, which I find fascinating because I hate the under. At Great American Ballpark, I hate it. But it didn't hit yesterday, so maybe it comes back and gives us a decent game. But the model likes the Reds, and the model likes the under. What do we look at?
You just said talk me off the Rangers.
Talk me off the Rangers. That's what it's supposed to be, right? The model is only supposed to give you predictions, and the model has been very good, but it's not the end-all, be-all, right? I know, I've gotten your DMs. People have said during the Twitch stream, the model has saved me a lot of money because I've cashed out on big favorites because the model couldn't disagree more. That's all it is. It's supposed to guide you and then to do your own research. That's all it's here to do. People are calling it the waddle, starting with a W. My producer's laughing because that was so stupid. All right, let's get to the next game. Oh, God, this game is freaking horrible. But we got to make money, though, right? They love the Jays. They think the Jays score 1 billion runs today off Mike Clevinger. But again, must say, model hates Mike Clevinger. Good. I hate Mike Clevinger, right? It's a tough game. The model likes the over. I think DeGen is going to come on and pitch it. I'm not exactly sure if he is, but I think he is. Model likes it, loves it through the first 5, thinks the Blue Jays destroy Mike Clevinger, but they also think that the White Sox get theirs against Jose Barrios and company, which seems like a recipe for success. And as you could tell, look at the Yurfee score. Big time Yurfee in this game. If you are Yurfee or Nerfie bettors, sorry?
Some kids were asking for Yurfee.
Yurfee? This could be a Yurfee, right? Model loves this one. I think it's their favorite Yurfee of the day. Let's see. I'm going through them. They really like the Yurfee in Tigers Brewers. They like the Yurfee in Angels A's. The model likes the Yurfee in, let me see. Or what's the biggest Nerfie of the day?
Well, the Yanks Twins Nerfie.
Oh, so the biggest Nerfies by the model, again, I don't track the Nerfie model plays. I don't know. The model's 2 biggest Nerfies, No runs first inning. Rockies, Guardians. That's number 1. And Yankees, Twins. And we have that one up, right?
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. Let's bring in that one. Super low scoring, right? Super, super low scoring. Nestor Cortez Jr. versus Joe Ryan. It likes the Twins to win this game. It has them winning 60.1% of simulations. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Yankee fan. We suck. We cannot hit. Do you know that the numbers 5 through 9 on the Yankees right now? So from 5 to 9 in their lineup, they have a 570 OPS. Do you know the only team that's worse? The Royals. We are starting Willie Calhoun, Franchy Cordero, IKF, Aaron Hicks, Oswaldo Cabrera. They don't know how to hit right now. Take the Twins. But I don't know shit because every single time I say anything on a Yankee game, it loses. So I'm just trusting the bottle here. Don't listen to anything I say on the Yankees because I get it wrong every day. I can't cap this team at all. And they're my favorite team and I hate them at the same time. So now, Producer Cohen, I think it's time to welcome on some cappers. That was the model. Prize Picks entry we already did. Game picks we already did. You guys know my plays. In case you didn't, they're tracked on the Pickett Sports app at PeterApple23. Now it's time to welcome on some cappers. Anyone in queue? Not yet. We're waiting for some people in queue. At the time, let's answer some questions real quick.
Does the green on the target mean like
green on the target?
On the model, the green.
Yeah, bring it up. Give me an example.
The green right here.
Oh yeah, the green. Okay, so basically what this is saying is where they think the line should be, right? So for Pirates, Dodgers, for example, the green is there. They simulate the game 1,000 times. And they see the game landing in between 8 and 9 most simulations. So the game right now is at 8.5. So basically what it's showing you is that there's no value on that total. So can you throw that up again, Producer Cohen? So when you see the graphic here, basically what it's showing on that individual game, I'm scrolling down to Pirates versus, you can see that the green, it's showing that more simulations went under the total of 8.5. So that's showing you where it leans, right? How can we get access to the model for every game? Ballparkpal.com. Ballparkpal.com. It's free. We work with them. My guy Aaron is the guy who created it. Him and I go back and forth all the time. I know everything that goes into the model. That's why I bring it to you. I wouldn't bring you some rat piss model just to sound smart. I know what goes into it. I trust it. It's helped me win money, and it should help you win money, and it's free. Don't call me Corp because I'm not Corp. I'm trying to help you freaking win. All right? Jake Hazen. I know he's in queue. He's got a mustache on. And before Producer Cohen, we get into Jake Hazen, can we throw up the leaderboard, please? Because Jake Hazen doesn't lose bets. Jake Hazen doesn't lose bets. I mean, sometimes, but he wins more than he loses. That's Jake Hazen sitting there at number 2. What a stud. What do you got for us today?
We try, Peter. We try. I guess I would first off get to this Rays Astros game, and I public apology to Luis Garcia so far this season because I put my nuts on the absolute table for this guy.
Nuts were on table,
but I think he figured something out his last start. I don't think that last start, him going off like that, was just a fluke. I did some research into it. So far this season, Luis Garcia has a very limited arsenal. He kind of only throws 3 pitches, sometimes 4. So he throws a cutter 41% of the time. Good pitch, 225 XBA, xWOBA of 257.
Great pitch.
Pretty good pitch. Slider. He throws a lot more. He throws his pitch 10% of the time with a 0.97 XBA and an xWOBA of 200.
Okay.
Great pitch. Throws about 10% of the time. But this fastball right here he throws, okay? About 34% of the time, 407 XBA, 540 xWOBA. It's one of the worst pitches in baseball.
Not ideal.
But can you take a guess what he did his last start?
He threw it way less.
Fastball less, slider more. And he So I was digging into it. So he only threw his fastball like 13 times. And when he threw it too, his velo was up. It was going like 95, 96. And he was only really throwing it, just to kind of blow it by people. Like he was very patient with it, cover heavy, and threw his slider a lot more. And those 3 pitches he throws are elite. And if he just times his fastball more correctly, because kind of blow by people or just kind of get ahead of the count, because that's what he was doing. That was his biggest issue. He couldn't get ahead of count. He kept going down like 1-0. And that Blue Jays game, he was ahead of the count every single time. And I don't think it's a fluke. I don't think he just randomly got better. No, I looked in the game. He's throwing his fastball less, using his slider a lot more, and his velo had a little tick up. I think this is a Luis Garcia that I kind of expected this season. I did a lot of research into this guy, and I didn't expect him to have the worst fastball in the league coming this year, have no control. But that Astros pitching staff saw that. They told him to throw down the fastball, and he's looked a lot better. I mean, only one game, but he looked amazing. And so I think it's a legit thing. And it should be not 7 innings shutout every game, but better version Luis Garcia is here, and he's here to stay.
So the play is raised money line, of course.
The play is first 5 under.
First 5 under, because you're telling Drew Rasmussen you believe that Garcia is due for a bounce back, but you like, obviously, the matchup with Drew Rasmussen as well.
I'm backing on him off a masterclass start. Last start, he went 7 innings, like 3 hits. Like, I think he had like 10 Ks through 4 innings. Like, he was just unbelievable. Like, let me pull this game log from his last game. I pull up right here. He had 9 Ks. I lied to you, but he went 7 innings, 2 hits allowed, 9 Ks, and big one, Peter, no walks.
We love no walks.
That's the big one.
I'm a little nervous because the Rays hit anyone.
They hit
the Astros are pretty good too. Let me get you some line movement here where we're currently sitting on BetMGM. So you got the first 5 under at 4.5, correct?
Yes, sir.
And is this your favorite play of the day? I know you have more plays. I'm just curious because you started with this one. You got the nuts on the table with Luis Garcia, full season ERA. I'm worried you're getting a little biased here. I'm worried that you're trying to push Luis Garcia narrative because you're a little bit worried and you want to see a good start.
No,
is this the regular Jake Hazen? Because the regular Jake Hazen doesn't get biased.
I'm not biased, Peter. I mean, I give you legitimate reason. I mean,
I know you could find great reasons. Because you're smart and that's why you win bets. But I'm worried because you've only been giving us winners. And I don't want this to be a biased pick. You know where I'm coming from, right? Sometimes when I try and prove something because I believe in it, and sometimes it doesn't hit.
If Garcia, which he won't, cuts down, which he will, he'll cut down his fastball, so his cutter slider more, he's going to be elite.
Well, you do have line movement on your side too because it's at 4.
That's good to see. And yeah, I just kind of trust Rasmussen pretty heavily today. I mean, he's been a stud this year. I mean, shout out to Vaughn for calling that guy. I have a pair of actually Rasmussen and what's his face, Luis Garcia under ERA. Kind of in piss right now on Garcia's side, but I think a lot of very, very good regression from Garcia coming on. But they're kind of tweaked his pitch arsenal a little bit, and I expect it to hold up. So, yeah, that's the play for that. Next
I like the line movement on your side. I do think like Garcia bounces back, and I think Rasmussen shoves. No Jordan's still in the lineup, right? I think he's a little bit hurt.
We'd love that. We love that.
I think he's supposed to be out this entire series. Did you check the lineup? I just want to see if it's out right for you.
Actually, I locked it in earlier. Please tell me he's not in the lineup. That's so nice. I think that's where the line moved. They're like minus 170 now. They open like Rays open like minus like 135.
He is not in the lineup.
Dude, can I talk real quick about Jordan real fast? Every single time in a clutch situation with runners on scoring position, I swear he's batting 1,000 this year.
Do you know what win probability added is?
Yeah.
He's number 1. Do you know what the clutch stat is on Fangraphs?
Is Trout last? Fuck Trout, bro.
No, he's not last. Jordan's 1. So clutch, the stat on Fangraphs, it's one thing to be clutch, but if you're hitting 300 and you hit 300 in clutch situations, you're basically just doing what you normally do. It's guys who take their game to another level, and the fact that Jordan is number 1 means that his regular stats are always so awesome, and the fact that he's number 1 means he's literally like Jesus Christ.
Is easily the best hitter in baseball. My opinion. I'm sorry. I just he is just ridiculous. If he's healthy, Peter, that home run.
I think the top 5 hitters in baseball are
Acuna.
I'm still putting Trout in there. I don't care. I'm putting Trout in there. I'm putting Judge in there. I'm putting Jordan in there. I'm putting Harper in there.
Acuna
Acuna's like the best player. I don't know if he's the best, like, just pure hitter. Sue me. I'm still putting Soto in there. I don't care. Like, I still think he's the man. I do.
He's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he's fine. I love him. But let's get to your next play.
Next play. I mean, we're on the same side here, Peter. First 5 over. Braves Marlins.
Come on.
Kind of same thing for you. This Hoeing guy, dude. I opened up this Statcast and I saw 70% sinker. My eyes just like widened. I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's getting freaking crushed today.
Yep.
I mean, this Braves lineup crushes sinkers, and this poor fellow has to come into Truist Park and try to throw 70% sinkers against this Braves lineup. Like,
good luck.
Oh, not much pitching to have there. And then Charlie Morton. And I kind of like this. I'm a big fan of this Marlins lineup. It's coming up a shutout. I mean, I don't think this Marlins lineup is like quite as bad as it showed yesterday, quite as bad as this year. I'd probably rank them like, say, like 19th, 18th. Like, they're not great lineup, but the lineup's solid. And heavy curveball guy, which is the Marlins lineup actually does hit pretty well. And like
no Luis Arraez in the lineup yesterday. He's back in now.
Hey, thank God. They're going to see Luis Arraez today. I was going to be horrified.
Pretty sure. Let me make sure of that.
Gordon, he's due for a little bit of aggression. 3.22 ERA with 6.10 xERA. Had a little bit of walk issues this year. Not really good much swing and miss. And against a lineup like the Marlins where they swing and miss, I think they lead the league in no, it's Giants, but they're up there in K rate and whiff rate and all the chase rate and all that type of stuff. So it's nice facing a pitcher like this that's due for aggression. And there's a lot of curveballs the Marlins do hit pretty well. Not much
yeah,
sliders.
Marlins haven't put out their lineup yet, but we're assuming Luis Arraez is going to be there. He's dealing with a little bit of a knee thing. Wasn't out, but was available to pinch hit. Now he's back.
De La Cruz is my Dinger Tuesday pick, so hopefully he's in the lineup.
Love it. You have any other plays for us?
Dude, you know what day it is. Come on.
Steel day, baby.
That's the Steel Day, dude. I mean, this guy is, I'm sorry, Peter, he's the second best lefty in the MLB.
Who's number 1?
I mean, come on. McClanahan, easily. I can't.
No more Max Fried? He's Steel past him?
Fried's 3. Fried 3. Dude,
what about Framber?
No, Framber ain't Steel, dude. I mean, dude, Steel since the All-Star break, for those who don't know.
What about Carlos Rodon?
No, he can't meet. He's got to be he's in pitch. But you know who Carlos Rodon isn't? You know what McClanahan isn't? You know what Framber isn't? He isn't the league leader in ERA since last year's All-Star break. They aren't.
That's a fact.
And revive this Cubs. So first off, wind's blowing in, cold, shitty game, bad hitting environment, and this what the Cubs did to those left-handed aces of the Dodgers weren't a fluke. This team was a good left-handed hitting team last year. I bet on almost every chance I got against lefties. Every team told our money line because they were a top 12 left-handed hitting team all season. They just couldn't really hit righties. And with those new improvements, they had their lineup, but even better at hitting lefties. So I like backing them when they face a left-handed pitcher. And with Justin Steele on the bump, a ground ball pitcher against a lineup that relies on home runs, gets a lot of Ks, gets a lot of chase, doesn't allow our hit balls, and just helps them even more. And today, with the bad weather. And fun fact, only 17% of balls are line drives against Steele. 17%, and only 23% are fly balls.
I love this. I'm on the under 8.5. I grabbed it. I sent it out to my subs, and now it's at 7.
Yeah, wind helped out a lot with that one. So, yeah Justin Steele is just – I mean, this is a biased pick. This is my Cal Quantrill. This is Peter's last year, except Justin Steele is actually a really, really good pitcher. Quantrill's kind of a meme, but, Steele is, legit, like Quantrill, they will win games with Quantrill because they get all the run support and get all the fluky hits and stuff. No, when Justin Steele is pitching, they win games because of how good Justin Steele is.
I love it, man. I do. Justin Steele was on the Just Baseball show, one of my favorite interviews ever. I got to talk to him, and I was like, "You're just a baseball player to your core, aren't you?" Every single question, he's just, he's this Southern dude who just grinds. He kind of reminded me of very different people. But I interviewed Jesus Luzardo as well. And, you talk to some players, when they have a whole life outside of baseball, they have a bunch of different hobbies. Luzardo and Steele, they just ball. All Steele does is go hunting and just pitch. And I was like, you are such a beast, R2. I'm fired up for his start today. But I do think Blake Snell pitches pretty well today. I do.
Yeah,
I know, it's crazy
well.
to say.
Like I said, this bad hitting environment, it's going to be bad for hitters, but thankfully when it's cold, Blake Snell can still walk people. So I don't have to worry about that.
Before you leave, people are asking in the chat, would you take that Rays Astros first 5 under 4? Now that's at 4 now.
Yeah, no, I'd 100% take that.
Okay, awesome. So for people who are asking that, I know UNLV94 was asking. But Jake, you're number 2 right now on the leaderboard among 15 cappers. Absolutely killing it. Let the people know where they can find your picks.
You can find me at Jake MLB31. I post a lot of props as well if you're a big prop guy.
Appreciate you, my friend. All right, we'll talk soon. See you tomorrow. Not bad, right? I like a lot of his plays, and I like that he's on the same side of me of this Marlins Braves first 5 over. I'm really excited about that one. All right, let's get into who's next on the queue. Oh, we got Mr. DeGen. We got the heavy hitters coming in first. Can you throw up that leaderboard for us, Producer Cohen? Because my guy DeGen is always like, I don't know if I'm that good at baseball. You know, I don't really know the sport. 4th, killing it. Thank you.
Am I on?
You are on. I just gave you a great intro.
I don't know the sport. I told you I just know the market pretty well.
Yes,
but,
you do.
Yeah, first losing day on stream, I think, yesterday. Well, maybe not. I think I've gone 1-1 before, but 1 and 2. First 5's got the best of me. The first 5 under in the Guardians game went over, full game under. First 5 Reds loser. Reds lose the game. So I'm still tweaking this first 5 thing, but I'll tell you, I'm new to this overall in my betting career, and just going like 0-2 like that, where then the side you're on wins the full game, it'll make you want to abandon it.
Yeah,
it'll make you want to abandon it for good. But I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with it. All that Justin Steele slurping just for the Padres to win today is going to be funny. I am on the Padres first 5. Anyways,
we got a little bit of clashing. Is Padres first 5 one of your official picks on stream?
It's not. That's why I'm not going to spend too much time on it.
Why not?
I know. Well, I didn't know how to play it. And then I actually heard, I don't know if you know who Parlay Safari is. I actually heard him pitch it on
I like
Trent's
Parlay
stream. Yeah, I like him too. I think he's a sharp bettor. And I wanted to attack Snell, and I wanted to attack the Padres. I think they're a team that I'm going to buy some stock in. And I thought about how to attack it. I saw the under soaring. I thought maybe, well, do I just take Cubs under team total, Blake Snell, K's, whatever. So anyways, first 5. But that's not one of my plays, so I won't spend too much time on it. But it's a game on this slate that I'm really looking forward to following. And one game that I'm on, or my first play, I guess, I got 2 today, is a game I could not care any less about because it's the Chicago White Sox going against Jose Barrios. However, when I'm looking at the board, something jumped out to me, and that was the opener on this total. I know a lot of people are talking about they can't believe Barrios is minus 200 as a favorite. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think the Jays probably roll today. But I think this 9.5 total is crazy high. And some people might push back on that and say, well, it's Barrios, or, well, it's the Blue Jays at home. I know they changed they modified their park a little bit, so we're expecting more runs overall. However, I would say take a little look here in the fact that the Blue Jays are, in their last 10, 2-6-2 to the over, and the White Sox are 4-4-2 to the over. These are not good over teams. And then you look at Clevenger. Let's see. So he pitched just 3 innings. He's coming off a pretty poor start.
He's also a dirtbag.
He's also a dirtbag, yeah. So maybe I guess that's one of the reasons people aren't that high on him. But before that, I think he pitched okay. He was in Baltimore against the Orioles, one of the hottest teams in baseball. 6 innings, 1 hit, and 0 earned runs. Then we look at Barrios. 2 earned runs his last outing through 7 innings pitched against the Astros on the road. That seems pretty good to me. And then 1 earned run against the Rays at home. And then we're looking at yesterday's game. This is one thing I always like to do. Yesterday, total at 9. I thought it would be a very popular overplay. I thought about fading it and going under. I didn't have the stones to do so. Lance Lynn on the mound against Bassett. Nobody likes either of those pitchers. And it went under 5-2. So now most people are going to be burned on that. They're probably not going to go back to an over. I think this total's pretty telling. 9.5. It is down to 9. I hate going against the line move, but if I do, I like that the juice is still on the over. So it's minus 120 on the over. So the books are not too quick to keep going down and adjusting. So they're just hanging it. That over 9 is still expensive. So That's the way I read it. That's the way I like it. Again, as you know, I've had pretty good success on the totals this season.
Absolutely.
So I've got 2 today. That's what I'm going with. And then the other one is an under. And it's under the Twins and Yankees game. Now, it's the lowest total on the board at 6.5, which I guess I'm a little surprised to see when you have Drew Rasmussen pitching, because we know he's pitching shutout innings, and then you've got the Steele matchup in the win in Chicago. But 6.5 is kind of telling to me. Maybe Joe Ryan really is that good. I am a Nestor Cortez stan through and through,
Because
and I
they're
hate
smart.
the Yankees. Yeah, I hate the Yankees, and you know I've been pretty vocal about this on my Twitter, but I love Nestor, man, and I think it's really hard not to like Nestor. I got spooked off of playing him first 5 against the Angels. They went up 5-0 in the first inning, and I was such an idiot for doing so. But I think the best way to back him here, I'm a little nervous about the move towards the Twins, 115 to 125, and everybody knows the record the Twins have against the Yankees is not good historically. They just had a big move yesterday too and took care of business. So I'm a little nervous about taking the Yankees, but I think the best way to do this is backing Nestor pitching, and I think 7 down to 6.5 is something I'm okay being late to the party on, because I think this is going to be like a 2-1, 3-1 game. I just don't know which way. I see no reason to not believe that either pitcher is going to pitch really well. Thought about just doing it on the first 5, but again, coming off of a night where I went 0-2 on the first 5. And the side that I liked hit in the full game, I'm going to trust the bullpens. However, that's why I always like to hear what you have to say, because I don't know, are the bullpens taxed? Is that not the right way to play this? Should I be looking at the first 5? But I got it at 6.5. I think minus 105 for the full game.
I'd love to help you, but I can't cap the Yankees for shit. Whatever I say turns to ass. So what I do know is that I respect the hell out of the Twins bullpen. And the only thing that looks good for the Yankees right now is Nestor Cortez Jr., Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo in the bullpen. That's it. Yeah. Do you want to know something? 2 crazy things for you. Number 1, the Yankees 5 through 9 hitters. They have posted a 570 OPS this season. That is 29th out of 30 teams from that production. They can't hit, DeGen. They can't hit at all. That's probably why the Twins win 2-1, because the Yankees cannot hit, and it makes me want to tear my hair out. Another thing why you should love Nestor even more, he was on my podcast last year, and we were talking to him. He told this great story, how he, before he got famous, would love to ride the subway because it was inexpensive. He'd ride it to the stadium, and he looked like everybody else because he's like 5'10", 200 pounds, and he like made a joke how he looks like everybody from the Bronx, and he would just ride the subway to the game and then just walk in and throw 6 shutty. I love Nestor to death. He is the common man for the people, and all he does is shove. I think it hits, but I don't know anything about the Yankees apparently, even though I watch every game. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, that's why one of my theories is I always say fade the fan. You know, if you hear a fan of a team talking about how they feel nice and cushy and comfortable backing their team in a certain situation, and the line looks off, I always go against the opposite.
You should.
And then if I'm betting on the team, and then that fan's like, oh no, we're not good against this team, or we have a terrible record, blah 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 blah, I'll go with it. So yeah, I actually don't even want to know what you think too much. I
don't want to know either.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna leave it at that. I'm hoping for. I wouldn't hate the Yankees to win this game, but because I think the Yankees win. I think they do too. but I'm a little bit more confident in if the Yankees are the ones winning, they're not going to do it by scoring many runs. So that means their pitching is shut down. Yeah, so I feel a little bit better about that. I would hate if the Twins win. I could see them getting like 5-2 and just getting over. And I would hate to be late to the number and then lose because of that. So, anyways, that's what I'm on. Those are my 2 plays. If I had to give you one, I feel stronger about. I really like this over in the White Sox game. Thought about making it a 2-unit play, but again, I'm being soft after a 1-2 night.
It's early. And one more thing that helps you: no Joey Gallo revenge game. Hit a home run yesterday. He's not in the lineup today, which helps you.
That's great to hear. That's always one of those hindsight things of when you see the videos going around on Twitter of him hitting a home run against his former team. I'm like, how the hell do we not think of that?
Yeah, but there's always like, you see them And then like 6 other games have revenge games. And it's like,
Oh, yeah,
that one
right.
hit. Yeah. So it's like, I hear that all the time. I get DMs constantly like, hey, this guy's facing his former team. Do you think he should hit a home run? I'm like, maybe. And then he does it. But one guy out of the 7 do. And it's like, all right, nice.
But before I leave, I have a really weird feeling. So remember yesterday I told you Tigers team total over, I think was one of my plays. It was the only one that hit.
Smacked.
So I heard you say this. You like the over in that game. I do too. I'm on that over. It's not one of my plays in here, but it's one of my straights on my card. And I got a feeling. I heard Javon talking about some hitters. He likes Riley Green and Shoop.
Jonathan Scope.
Scope. Yeah, Scope. I like that too. I'm picking Scope, but I got a strange feeling we get a Javi Baez home run tonight.
Let's go. I'm hoping that game ends with 70 runs. I think the Tigers put up 5 themselves, but at the same time, like, Spencer Turnbull is the matchup for the Brewers. Like, all we can do is play the numbers in the data, and like, fastball, sinker, slider, the Brewers crush. Fastball, sinker, slider, righties.
Riley Green's out today.
Love it.
Riley Green is out today. Which I don't hate
good
because
to
he
know.
grounds out every time. He just grounds out. I'm like,
Yeah, what the hell, man? That guy,
So
I've
annoying.
played him here and there in a few private
So
things, and
good.
he never comes through for me.
he's such a good player and he's such a good prospect, and he's just not producing. It sucks, but it's fine that he's not in the lineup, honestly.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Jen. Let the people know where they can find you.
The DGen Weekly on Twitter and thegeneratelweekly.com. If anybody's an NFL draft fan, I am going to be sending out a mock draft tomorrow or Thursday. I've got a lot of bets that I am considering placing. So, Peter, if you have any interest in that, feel free to hit me up. I'll be talking about it on my stream tomorrow.
No doubt. That sounds like a blast. I'll talk to you soon,
Yeah, good
Jen,
to-
all right? Thanks, my man. All right.
No one yet. A couple other.
No one in queue right now. DeGen is an absolute W. Noah Rise, it looks like. You're kidding me. Let's check the lineup. All right, Noah Rise. I don't know why. God. Why is Rise not playing? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. He was available to pitch hit yesterday. No Luis Rise. That stinks. Doesn't really matter. I mean, the main point is I think the Braves crush Brian Hoeing. I do think that regardless, the Marlins are going to get to Morton. But no Luis Rise certainly doesn't help.
Ben said he can't make it today. Do you want to just go over his picks?
Yeah, Ben said he can't make it today, so let's just go through Ben's plays while we are waiting on our other cappers.
Our mid-major and Tomas.
Ara, mid-major, and Tomas will be coming on soon. Let me shoot them a text. Come on. All right, so Ben is going with the Milwaukee Brewers through the first 5, 1.3 units at minus 165. I kind of agree with it because I think the Brewers are going to crush Turnbull, but at the same time, I think the Tigers are really going to get to Eric Lauer. I don't mind it. Super, super juicy. But again, he's not laying 1.65. No, I don't think I wouldn't cash out. If you guys are talking about the Marlins Braves, it wasn't on the backs of Luis Arias. Remember, we still got the Braves on the other side with a full lineup. I would not cash out. I'm still riding. No doubt about it. I still like it. Let's check a line move, right? Let's see if it crashed when we see that coming out. Give me a second. Let's see if the line crashed. If it did, let's see. We are looking at, where's the game? No, it actually is. It's minus 125 now, and I got it at minus 120. I ain't cashing out. No shot. All right, yeah, so he's on Milwaukee, first 5 money line. What's the next one, Producer Cone?
Colorado, Cleveland under 8.5.
Colorado versus Cleveland under 8.5. That line, I think, is at 8 now, so he's got line movement on his side. The model really likes this one. I'm assuming his model likes it too. Right now it's at under 8 at minus 105. Knowing Ben, I think he'd still play it, especially at -105. It's not like -120 or anything like that. I like it. It was one of the plays I was considering this morning. The only reason I didn't is because Feltner is a pretty good matchup for the Guardians. And Battenfield's still young. I need to see more from him. But it's not a bad play. I like the Guardians bullpen a lot, obviously, because they're great. Rockies bullpen is pretty good at the back end. Middle guys suck. Maybe Feltner pitches well today. This was one I was considering. Annie has line moving on his side. I stayed off it. All right, let's get to his third play. Yeah, he's on the Yankees versus the Twins under as well. Does he have it at 7 or 6.5? 7. I don't know if he'd play at 6.5, obviously. But he's on the under. DeGen is on the under. So those are Ben's plays. But let's welcome on the man, the myth, the legend, the only person above 9 units on stream. Tomas, you're coming off a 2-1 day, and you banned the Rangers. Tell us about it.
I banned the Rangers. And you know what's upsetting, Peter? Because I came on here yesterday, and I said, I'm going 3-0. And
hey,
Rangers,
you won money. You know, if we win money, we win money.
You're right. And I was so confident in all 3 of my plays. I was like, I'm going 3-0 today. I sat there and watched the Rangers single-handedly blow a 5-1 and then a 6-4 lead in the 8th inning, and then let the Reds walk it off in the 9th. And everything else cashed with ease. Blue Jays hit. The over cashed in like the 5th inning.
I mean, yeah, A's Angels, you had it over 10. Both teams scored 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was tough. So the Rangers are on my no-bet list because they sold for me yesterday. They sold for me last Friday as well. We know the Astros are on the no-bet list as well. So I got both the Texas teams. So I'm done riding with any of them. And we're going to look ahead.
You write for the Astros on Just Baseball, which is great. That you're banning the Texas teams. I love it. But, hey, you got a lot of people mad that you're banning the Rangers. They say give them another shot. Are you giving them another shot? It's April 25th. Or what is it today?
I mean,
April
I'm telling
25th,
you, I will say the Rangers have an opportunity to get off of the no-bet list.
Okay.
They do. They have the Astros, no, I'm done with that. I'm with you on the same thing. If they're my team, I'm done. I'm not gonna...
They're just your team. The Yankees are my team. I don't bet on them games. You're doing the same thing. I have added the White Sox to the no-bet list.
Okay.
Last year, they're too much pain. They lose. I can't do it. I can't do them. And the Rangers are approaching there for you. I wouldn't say ban them. I would maybe say take a break. But
I'm taking a break for a couple. I would say probably for at least the next week or so. I'm taking a break on the Rangers. It was tough because also too the other time when I bet on them last week, they cost me a perfect day again. I would have went 3-0 and end up going 1-2 because the Rangers couldn't close it out and their team total didn't hit either. So we're gonna take a break from the Rangers, and I got 4 plays today. We're gonna get into them.
Let's get into first one. What we got first on the slate, producer Colin?
Mariners, they've been looking for full game money lines. The chat.
They're looking for full game money lines. They don't like first fives. They don't like totals. And you got one for them today. Mariners money line. Let's talk about it.
I got the Mariners in this one. System play yet again. Interleague favorite as well as a non-divisional road favorite. Also, too, I really like Logan Gilbert in this matchup.
Issue though. Gilbert scratched. It's Marco Gonzalez, and now they're the dog.
Well, at this point, Peter, we're riding.
Right.
At this point, it's too late. It's too late to back out at this point. Let's go Mariners. At the same time, I like Bailey Falter. He's pitched pretty well this season, 4.5 ERA. Still looking for his first win of the season. And don't get me wrong, the Mariners aren't the best hitting team right now. I mean, they're batting .226, but this Philadelphia pitching staff, 4.82 ERA. Also, too, if the Mariners can just hold on, right? Let's just say they keep this one close. If you're telling me who am I going to trust in the later innings, the Mariners bullpen or the Phillies bullpen, I'm going to trust the Mariners, and I'm going to expect this team to score some runs off of that Philly bullpen. It seems like every time I'm either betting on the Phillies or betting against them, that bullpen chokes every time. They end up blowing leads, and I'm hoping that happens today, especially with Gilbert getting scratched. But I still like the Mariners in this one. It was a one-unit play. But I still am going to take it. I'm still going to take the Mariners. I'm still going to ride with them because at the same time, I don't see the Phillies being that much better than Seattle. And who knows, maybe Marco Gonzalez goes out there and pitches a gem and I look like a genius.
Maybe you do look like a genius. One thing, Phil Zutley, big Phillies fan, says the Phillies bullpen is unhittable lately. Doesn't that make you like them to actually get to the Phillies bullpen more?
That makes me love it even more. So
much variance with this Phillies bullpen. They are the stuff guys. They're, Gregory Soto, Craig Kimbrell, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jose Alvarado, stuff. But if they don't have it, they get bombed. They've had it lately. Doesn't mean they're going to have it today. You're rolling with the Seattle Mariners. Next play on the board. Atlanta first five.
Atlanta first five. I like Atlanta in this one. I think the biggest thing for this Braves matchup is, look, they're minus 225 favorites. Charlie Morton, he's due for a regression start. He really is due for one, but he has had a lot of success against the Marlins. He's 4-1 in 8 starts against the Marlins since joining the Braves in 2021, and he hasn't allowed more than 3 runs in 5 of those starts against the Marlins. Also, too, Brian Hoeing's making his first career start on the road. I mean, he's made his major league debut, right? He did it last season, but I just don't like the matchup for him. I know he's pitched well in the minors, and that's why they called him up, but I don't like that he's going against this Braves lineup. Spencer Strider pitched a gem yesterday. The offense got rolling after getting swept by the Astros at home. I think this is a Braves team that's a little bit pissed off of what happened with Houston, and I think they're going to come out. Give me the first 5. I wouldn't be surprised if the Marlins, do something in the later innings, but I'm going to take the first 5 minus a half. I'm cool with laying the minus 150 to win a unit. Let's go Braves.
Let's go Braves, baby. That's number 2 of 4 picks. Let's get to your third one. What are we dealing with, number 3? Baltimore over 8.5.
Yep. Give me over 8.5. This is one of those games where I just was looking at the history between these two teams. This is their 5th matchup this season, and the over has hit in every game. They've hit the over every time. Also, too, Corey Kluber has faced the Orioles 7 times, hasn't had much success. He's 1-4, giving up 26 runs in 33.2 innings pitched in the last 2 seasons. In his lone start against Baltimore this year, he also gave up 5 runs. His expected ERA is above 6, and he's in the bottom percentile and everything on StatCast. I mean, Corey Kluber, I'm not a fan of. I think Baltimore gets to him early. And Kyle Bradish, on the other hand, he's pitched well in his couple, outings so far this season, but 0-3 lifetime against the Sox with a 7.54 ERA. Boston and Baltimore are very familiar with both these starting pitchers. Give me the over.
Also, what do you think about both bullpens? Because obviously you're not playing the first 5 over, you're playing the full game over. Just curious what you think about both bullpens.
I like Baltimore's bullpen better, and I definitely lead towards the Orioles in this one. But if I got an over 8.5, I'm sitting here right now thinking the Orioles put up 5-6 runs, and Baltimore probably adds on 4 of their own as well. I like this Orioles bullpen if they have that lead going into the 8th, 9th inning. But if we got ourselves a tie ball game in the 5th and 6th, it's a coin flip. And at the same time, I don't like Boston's bullpen. Their pitching staff has been, let's just say, mid all season long, if that. I just like the over. I feel like 8.5 might be a little too low. I saw it was juiced up at minus 120. I thought it would go closer to 9 by the time the line
closed. It is 9 right now.
It's not, then bam, Peter. Let's rock. I feel even better about that. Here we go.
Plus 100. Still take it?
Oh, I'm still going to take it. I mean, for me sitting here at 8.5, I need at least 9. If you're going to give me plus money for what I'm hoping for, I'll take it. Same thing with yesterday with that Oakland game. When it went to 10, when it closed, I had it at 9.5. I'm still going to hit it for, the half-point swing.
That's 3. Give us your 4th.
White Sox, Blue Jays.
What are we looking at?
Yesterday, I took the Blue Jays team total. I'm taking the White Sox team total over 3.5 in this one.
Okay.
Fading Jose Barrios. I mean, there's not much else to say besides that. Also, too, this White Sox team is really familiar with him. Their top hitters, Eloy Jimenez, Benintendi, and Luis Robert, all have had success against him. They're combined batting .338 with a .939 OPS. Also, too, Barrios, 6.23 ERA this season, and he has lost 4 straight games against the White Sox, has given up 16 runs combined in those 4 starts. If you just want to talk about the runs he's given up, that's 4 per 4 starts. I got over 3.5, and I'm feeling good about the White Sox, putting at least 3 runs. If they put up minimum 3 runs against Barrios, come on, they're going to score at least 1 against that bullpen. I like the team total over 3.5. Give it to me. To me, that's like it was too simple not to. It was too simple not to, especially with the first 5 over, Peter. Listen to this. It was at 5, and I think it might be at 5.5 now.
Yeah.
And when looking at that, I go, someone scoring some runs early. I like the White Sox. You give me 3.5 runs against Brewers, I'll take it.
And I think it's pretty solid. Right now it's sitting at -125, so a little 2-cent adjustment, but you should be totally fine. I mean, it's a team total. They don't adjust that much, and it's like it's minimal. And if somebody's going to score, like I think both teams score runs today. DeGen came on and pitched the full game over. So if he wants to hit his over, the White Sox are going to have to contribute. White Sox are going to have to contribute 3.5. They score 4 runs. Blue Jays score 5. He hits his over. You hit your team total. Let's rock.
Yeah, let's rock, Peter. Let's have ourselves a day. Hope another winning day. Back-to-back winning days is the goal. 4-0 would be a perfect day. So let's make it happen.
Let's do it, my man. Plug whatever you need before you dip.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at T_Roma5. All my picks, other content, everything I write for Just Baseball is posted there as well. Follow me on TikTok as well, Tomas.Romo1. And yeah, let's have ourselves a day.
They're calling you Woma, starting with a W, not a T. Atta baby. Thanks for coming on, my man.
Day.
All right,
Appreciate
we'll talk to you soon. Aram is on stream. Aram, I don't know if you know this, but you are extremely popular with the people. They love the way you break down games. Little bit of a slow start, but it's been more up and down, right? You go 3-0, then you go 3, then 3. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but people love when you break down games. And I think, because we were going over your picks this morning, I think you're due for a 3-0 day. How about it?
3.5.
3.5. 3.5.
No, because the bonus play, the bonus play is something crazy that we got to get to. But first of all, I feel like I don't break these games down through a betting lens well at all compared to some of the stuff. Like I sit here in the waiting room, I'm watching Tomas Romo like break it down from the angles. You start talking about betting splits, and I just come out here and I'm just like, yeah, Mason Miller throws really hard, and I think guys are not going to hit it, which is going to be one of my picks. So I'm glad people enjoy it because I feel like when it comes to the betting analysis, I leave a little bit to be desired, but I try to make up for that with entertainment and a little bit of background on these guys, which is going to lead me into my first pick, which I might as well start with the A's Angels first 5 under.
A's Angels first 5 under. Let's talk about it.
So I really like this for multiple reasons. We were talking about this a little bit before we recorded the Just Baseball show.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the overall under, and you said, just stay the hell away. This A's bullpen is atrocious.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I don't want to have to stay up and pray for the A's bullpen to not give up bombs. Not doing that. So what I like is first 5 under 4.5. You've got Mason Miller, who looked really good in his first start, but not quite dominant enough to where I think the line would, put it at 4, 3.5. 4.5 is a lot of runs. And then Griffin Canning, like, he's not good. Don't get me wrong. He's not good. But he's not disastrous to the point where he can't throw strikes and it's going to be a merry-go-round and they tee off on him. If he throws strikes, I think he can keep that A's lineup at bay. I'm really looking at Mason Miller to keep that Angels offense in check, which I think he can do, especially just through the first 5 innings. He goes 4-5 strong. I think he can do that with, I think, the best fastball maybe in minor league baseball, potentially one of the best fastballs in Major League Baseball, reaching 102. Like, that plays at any level.
I like it. I mean, you and I were talking this morning because it's not just Mason Miller. Like, it's Griffin Canning against this poverty A's lineup. And Griffin Canning gets outs. Like, no, he's not flashy. He's not Mason Miller with 101 at the top of the zone, but he gets outs. We went to that Angels-Yankees game, and how did the Yankees do against Griffin Canning? They got frickin' almost shut out. It was embarrassing. Luckily, Aaron Judge hit a 2-run home run, and that was it, right? They scored one more run, I think, off the Angels bullpen. Griffin Canning can pitch, and he's kind of the underrated arm in this one. So you're tailing Mason Miller, but it's also respect to Griffin Canning, right? Not a flashy pitcher, but against the A's, after a huge run scoring environment yesterday, bats come down to earth a little bit. I think it's a good play, my man.
And I really don't think Vegas is privy to Mason Miller yet. They withheld a lot of the props in the first game because he'd barely thrown in the minor leagues. He'd only thrown in the Arizona Fall League, High A, and then very, very little in Triple A. And then this last outing, 4 1/3, 2 runs, but those came later. He was sharp. I think he was sharper than the stat line would show. So I don't think that they have enough data to really highlight how good Mason Miller is. I don't think we'll see a first 5 over under 4.5 for a Mason Miller start too many times after this. just because of that Oakland offense too.
I think it's a great play. Let's get to your next one too, because you have 3.5 plays. The half is kind of a troll,
3.5.
but I think you believe it. Let's get to your second play.
It counts. It's on the record.
It's on the record.
At the same time, it has to count. If
it has
loses,
to count.
I lose a half unit.
All right.
But we'll get to that one. We're saving the best for last. This one, Cubs money line at home over the Padres. They were minus 125. I think you can get it at better than that potentially now. But anywhere in that range, I really like it. Like Blake Snell has been very mediocre. He had a slightly better start last game, but I thought he really danced around command issues. Justin Steele's been spectacular. You got the Cubs at home. They've been swinging the bats well. I think it's just great value overall. And for me, it was pretty much that simple. I like the starting pitching matchup. I like the home team. I don't have a lot of confidence in Blake Snell, especially going deep in the game. Padres bullpen is, whatever. I think the Cubs pull it out at home.
Little scary. Adjustment down to minus 110 on the money line.
Ooh.
Not ideal, but again,
so
what are you gonna do, right? Because it's not like you paid a bunch of juice anyway, and a small adjustment, we'll see, right? We were talking about this morning. I think Justin Steele shoves. I think it's going to be super, super low scoring, and it's going to be decided in the end, and you have the home team.
I have the home team, and ultimately.
Mid-major. Can you, mid-major, would you mind muting? He's on next. Keep going, Harm.
Sorry. Mid-major? Sorry, I can't. It's loud. That's funny. I think he was speaking in Spanish. That's pretty impressive. So, do you think Belly was enough to move the line before I move on to the next pick? Was it just
I think it's possible.
Is that how back Belly is? He's moving lines?
Well,
before no difference before.
That's the
no
thing.
Difference.
It's like Yordan Alvarez was announced out of the Astros lineup yesterday. Do you know the line moved from plus 125 to plus 155? A 30-cent adjustment based on Yordan. A 10-cent adjustment based on a guy like Bellinger who's been hitting really well isn't crazy. It might have been like someone big came in on Padres and Belly was announced out and it moved the line 10 cents. Like he could be worth a 5-cent adjustment. But overall, like I'm not that worried for this play.
No, it doesn't affect my take on the play at all, but it's just nice to see Belly be considered at all again, as he's been swinging it pretty well. Yeah. I'll fly through the last pick and then the last half a pick. We got Phillies Mariners under 8, and that was at minus 105. I think on the surface, it kind of screams over with a somewhat lower total and a battle between Marco Gonzalez and Bailey Falter. But both of these lineups are kind of struggling. The Mariners are not doing great against lefties. The Phillies offense still just kind of leaves a little bit to be desired right now. They're still trying to work things out. Both teams are under 500. And the other thing is the weather. The wind is blowing out to me, Peter. We were talking about that. The wind is blowing in. Ballpark Pal has a pretty significant adjustment in terms of expected home runs based on the way the weather looks today. You pair that with what I think is two struggling offenses. There's nothing worse for a struggling offense than the ball not carrying out. I think two gets-outs guys are going to get outs today.
Absolutely. I think it's a solid play. We were talking about it today. Of course, it was really on the backs of Gilbert. Him getting announced out doesn't help a ton. But Marco's a guy who just gives you 5 innings, 2 runs, and you're like, how does he do it? He's throwing 88, and he just does it. And that's why the Mariners keep relying on him. So I think the under is a pretty solid play here. Of course, you have a little bit of an adjustment taking him out. You got a run adjustment there. But we'll mark you down for 9.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's you gave it in this morning. Line changed. We'll give you the 9 because I think that's what you'd want to play, of course. Like you played it because Gilbert. Line change. So you'll take 9, I assume.
Yes. Sounds good to me. And then my half a play. Half a play. Before I jump. The half a play is the worst play imaginable, and it's going to hit. It is Marlins' first 5 plus 1/2 run plus 130. No one will take that. I think I'm the only person to have a half a unit on this. And Brian Hoeing, everyone's looking at the one start he had in LA, which was a disaster. This poor guy's got to face this Braves lineup again. Could be a disaster. Fastball is up 3 ticks. Command is better. Slider looks good. I think he escapes through 4 or 5 innings. Marlins get 1 or 2 on Morton. Give me the plus 1/2 run at plus 130. No one thinks it's happening, and it's happening. and I'm going to gain 0.8 units from this. So just watch, just witness.
So I'm on the first 5 over. Like we talked about that a little bit before. The Braves match up pretty well against Hoeing, but I think the Marlins get to Morton. Like, I'm really curious to Marlins against Morton, because for this bet to hit, you have to have them score, because I don't think Hoeing's throwing 5 shutty. How do you like the Marlins against Morton?
I think that's a guy they can get to. Like, I thought that they were going to get no hit yesterday, and they almost did. You got Arias back in the lineup. I think it's a really good matchup for Jazz.
He's not in the lineup.
Oh, he's not in today? They decided not to put him in?
No.
Oh, that hurts. But I still think it's a good matchup for Jazz. It's a straight fastball. It's a hittable fastball. And Jazz hunts spin, reacts to fastball. He's talked about that. I think Jazz goes yard today. I don't think they need to do much else than get a couple runs on 1 or 2 on Morton. Other than that, realistically, you're not going to get shutty from Brian Hoeing. So I like the over there. I think the Marlins can scrape a couple across. Soler looks really good. Segura looks like he's breaking out of it. It sucks that there's no Arias, but I think they'll be able to get to him for a couple.
Phenomenal. And our graphic is a little bit messed up. We have you at Seattle, but it's the Miami Marlins. It's all right though. We'll get it all figured out. But yeah, so it's the Miami Marlins first 5 plus a half run, 0.5 units at plus 130. And I think we got a question in chat. Why are people down on Morton? I mean, he's got a 6 xERA. Like, his curveball is still his main out pitch. It's still a great pitch. They're on like 40% of the time. But his fastball, his sinker, they're all getting murked. And he's walking a tightrope. 22 innings, 26 hits, 10 walks. I mean, that's 161 whip. Like, it's going to be very hard to hold. Yeah.
It's going to be coming in like a beach ball after seeing Strider's fastball yesterday, too, I think. Like, I think it's going to look a lot easier today. I do think they get to him. I like that play, Pete.
How about a 3-2 Marlins lead after 5?
I would love that.
I would love that, too. All right, my guy. Appreciate you again coming on.
Appreciate you.
And we'll talk to you
Peace
soon.
out.
We got Mid-Major on the phone, and then that'll be the end of this stream. Mid-Major. Throw up that graphic for us, please, because even after a tough day... Oh, hold on. A little technical difficulties here for a second. Yeah, why does it show Seattle for the pick and not Miami? Mistake on our part. It's Miami. Mistake on our part. The way it was entered into the system. But he's on the Miami Marlins plus a half through 5 innings. But we got Mid-Major Matt on. And Mid-Major Matt, you had a tough day yesterday, but you're still up plenty of units on stream. How are you, my friend? Oh, no Wi-Fi zone for our guy Mid-Major. He's rolling through a tornado right now, possibly a hurricane. Hopefully we get him in some good Wi-Fi in a second.
KB is stuck in standstill traffic, so he can't come
KB is stuck in standstill traffic. Mid-Major, we got you.
I heard that.
Oh. He'll come back on. Let's go over KB's picks in the meantime while we're waiting for Mid-Major Matt to come on.
Yeah,
Houston first 5 money line. Wow. Against Drew Rasmussen and the Tampa Bay Rays. No, the reception here in South Bay is horrible. Yeah, I can see that. Houston through the first 5 money line plus 145. Let me look at the lines real quick to let you know what that currently is at on BetMGM if you'd like to tail. It's at plus 150, 5-cent adjustment in a way that he wouldn't love. It's a tough one. I mean, Jake Hazen, who's been very hot, came on and pitched the first 5 under. It's a tough play. He thinks Garcia shoves today. He thinks the Astros can get to Rasmussen without Jordan. We'll see. We'll see, right? All right, next play for KB. Texas team total over 5.5. Interesting. So the Texas Rangers are facing. Who do the Rangers play again? The Rangers play. Where are they? Why don't I? Oh, yeah. They're playing the Cincinnati Reds. So he's fading Luke Weaver. Right now, team total at 5.5. What did he get at? Plus 115?
Plus 110.
Plus 110. It's at plus 120. So again, another line move that isn't in the direction that he would want them at. Any more plays for KB?
No.
That's it for KB.
And I don't think we have. I haven't heard from Mid-Major.
Mid-major is still...
He's frozen on this.
he is still frozen.
So weird.
Still frozen.
Let's start going over his picks.
Yeah, let's just start going over his picks for our guy Mid-major.
Wait.
Oh, wait. Got him in.
All right. We can try.
A little bit staticky still.
I hear him.
I hear you. Oh, no. Sounds like a frickin'... This is so funny. You guys are the best. I appreciate you, my man. All we're trying to do is give you guys winners. Sounds like kind of his phone is in a garbage disposal.
All right.
GG's.
Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, but let's talk about Chicago Cubs team total. Is this a 2-unit play for him?
1.
1-unit play for our guy Mid-Major Matt. What's this line at currently? He's sitting at minus 110. Cubs team total over in the wind. Or is it under?
Under 3.
Oh, under. Love the under. Let's see. Good. I mean, he's following that line movement of the pods. First,
So he just keeps popping.
yeah, just let him sit there. And hopefully maybe he comes on and pitches his play. 3.5. The under is now minus 120. Minus 120, so he's got a line move in his direction. All right, there it keeps going in and out. Garbage disposal connection. Matt is in piss. Pete with the awkward smile waiting. I'm trying my best here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to give you a friggin' winner.
Next one.
Line movement on his direction. I love the full game under. I think this is a great way to play it because, everyone on Cubs money line could possibly win. A 3-2 ball game. Matt hits his play, goes under 8.5, like I said. I think it's a solid play, and he's got line movement on his side, a 10-cent adjustment. All right, next play for Mid-Major.
Colorado-Cleveland under 8.
Colorado-Cleveland under 8. He's going right back to it. Very similar to Ben's play, who's also on this under. He got it 8.5. Line movement on his side. Model thinks the game should be at 6.5. Bad conditions. My only worry why I didn't take it, I got to see more from Battenfield, and Feltner is a pretty solid matchup. The model does think the Guardians win, but they basically think that Battenfield shoves. A lot of smart people on this under. Consider it. I think it's a solid play. I was close to playing it, honestly. Yo, 4.3 units, Braves, minus 1.5. Best of luck, everyone. Get after it, R-Claus 22. Next play.
Dodgers, Pitt under 8.5.
Dodgers, Pirates, under 8.5. The model also kind of likes the under. They think it should be plus money at 8.5. Currently, right now, what are we looking at? Dodgers, Pirates. It is at 8 at plus 100. Line movement on his side again, and Mid-Major has been fantastic this entire year. Line movement on every single one of his plays, ladies and gentlemen. Every single one of his plays. Battenfield on Prize Picks, a good look. I need to see more personally. I don't know what his line is on Prize Picks. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Battenfield. 4.5 pitcher strikeouts. The model loves the Nerfy. Now, I'm not big on Nerfies, but there is a Nerfy square up. 4.5 Ks. He's not a big strikeout guy. I think that was the end of his plays, right?
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
That's it.
That's it, everyone. That was Tuesday, April 25th edition of Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream. We are here every Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern to 6:30 p.m. Eastern, going over all the games in order to give you winners every single day. Really appreciate you guys all tuning in. Of course, make sure you follow us so you get an alert when we go live. Might not be able to stream on Friday. Our producer will be in Michigan. His sister is graduating the University of Michigan. Smart guy. He went to Syracuse. So did I. Not quite Michigan, but we're still smart. We're still smart. Sister's graduating. We're going to try and stream Friday. Not exactly sure yet, but we'll be back tomorrow and Thursday in order to give you winners. Remember all the codes, BetMGM, JB fans, if you haven't downloaded yet. $10 on a moneyline wager gets you $100 in bonus bets. Prize picks, use code JustBaseball, 100% deposit match. If you want to know all of my plays, download the Pickett Sports app and follow at PeterApple23, APPEL. Really appreciate it again, all of you guys tuning in. Let's sweep the board. Why not us? But we have to remember one thing.